What's up, you guys? BellaRose here. Welcome to my channel. It's so good to be back. I hope that you guys have had a great, month so far between now and the last video I shared. Please don't judge me. Don't judge me way now. Today, I want to tell you guys about the time I resigned my job because I was feeling like I wasn't fulfilled, and I was also feeling like the kind of music I was playing on my show did not glorify God. Caveat: if you are perhaps in that situation right now, maybe you're thinking, am I walking in God's purpose for my life? Am I doing the right thing? Should I resign my job? Please seek the face of God and not say, Bella said, so I'ma do it. I don't send you work. In the previous video, I shared about how we need to establish a communication line with God such that when we are speaking to God about something and God responds to us, we know that it is God that's speaking and not just our hearts and our personal desires and our selfishness and our thoughts that we're interpreting as the voice of the Lord. The voice of the Lord. And I know I may sound a bit jocular, but I'm being very serious. It's important for you to establish how God speaks to you on certain things such that when you really want Him to speak to you on a decision, you can identify and recognize that He's the one who's speaking. When I resigned this job, this was a job I had years ago. It was a media job. I'm not going to say, well, I think you may sort of have an inkling what kind of job it was, but I will not say what company it was. That was a long time ago. So I was working at this company and I really enjoyed waking up every morning and going to work. But it got to a point where sometimes I always felt a burden. It felt like these songs are not glorifying God. So why are you playing these songs? Like, why are you asking people to enjoy the music? These are not songs that you will download in your spare time and listen to. These are not songs that you go and look for on YouTube and watch their videos or even recommend to your friends. So why are you sounding all chirpy and very excited about sharing these songs on the radio? It's like, oh, so up next is enjoy. Yeah, this is yes. So I took my younger brother somewhere. It was a Boy Scout thing, funny enough. And this guy was just talking and was just talking to the children. I just escorted my younger brother as my big sister. Let me follow him. And the man was just talking about how it's important to work in the purpose of God and how you were created to glorify God and how everything that you do should give God glory. And there I was just weeping. I was in tears. I'm like, God, have mercy on me. This work, I'm going to leave it. I don't care if I don't have money. I don't give a damn. I didn't say that, but I was just like, Lord, I'm sorry, because I'd been feeling led to leave that employment. And it was so difficult for me because I knew that I was young. I've always liked working, to be honest. But because I really like to use my gifts, I really like to be engaged doing something. For me, it was, I don't care if I can't do anything at this point. And so I think like the following week or so, I'm like, I need to resign. I couldn't resign that when I wanted to because there was a tragedy that happened around that time, and so it felt like it would have been insensitive of me to still go and meet management and say I need to go. So I'm like, I need to chill. But there was also a nudge like, you need to leave soon. And so it was trying to figure out the right time to say I was leaving. Now, God helped me. I was able to tell my colleague, he was a senior colleague and a very amazing person, that I just wanted to leave. And, he was so sad about it and said, oh, well, what did they do? I'm like, don't worry. Truth of the matter is, literally everywhere I have worked, when I say I want to leave, this like, oh, can we talk about this, please? And for me, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. It's a testament to my abilities, a testament to the good work that I do, the quality of work that I bring. And people don't want to lose a good worker. As I said, I'm sorry, I need to leave. I just really need to leave. There were a few other things that were responsible for me leaving. Salary issues were one of them. I remember one day, a colleague of mine, a married man, walked up to me and was asking me to please give him money for something. And in that moment, I felt so sorry for the collective workforce. I felt like I can't remain in a place like this, where a married man is coming to ask me for money for his family. I felt so sorry for him because I think I didn't have money. And so I felt so bad. It's like, how? How can this be the reality of people who wake up and leave their houses every morning to go and work? You won't pay them after every month. And it's not just 1 month. Oh. I said, no, I can't do this. But it was not even the salary that made me leave. It was not a lot of money. The underlying reason was the move of the Holy Spirit, and everything else was just like an extra layer on top. It's like, well, also also so while there were a few other reasons, like salaries not being paid, and I felt like this can't be your reality for long. How will you work in a place where salaries are not being paid after every month? To I guess maybe distance. So those could have been reason enough to resign. But I had a very strong reason, and it was because the Holy Spirit had led me to leave. It was like, you're not glorifying me in this job, and you feel it, and you want to do more for me. So you need to leave. For me, that was the strongest reason. Because if I had told management that, I'm leaving because of this and because of that, and it might not have been strong. I feel it's just the right time for me to leave. It's just the right time for me to leave. One thing I also did before I left was to tell my other colleagues, listen, don't say because I'm leaving you want to leave. It's important for you to know the reason why you want to leave before you leave. And don't say because Bella left, I'm leaving. I'm not leaving because I'm not being paid salary. It was one of the reasons. It was one of the other reasons. But the major reason was between me and God. So if you're not saying Bella left, so I'm going to leave too, you don't know the arrangement Bella has with God. And so if you jump ship as well, and then you're now sweating and all those things, it's all on you, right? So I told my colleagues, I'm like, see, if you don't need to leave, if you don't personally feel like it is the right time, because I kept telling everyone, it is the right time for me to leave. It is the right time for me to leave. You don't need to know the details. I just need to move on from here. You know how sometimes people are scared that, if one member of staff leaves, other people are going to follow them. And me, I was never afraid of that, because I'm like, I don't know that I have that kind of influence on people. Again, they said some people left after I left. I'm like, it's not because of me, because me, I was very specific, and I said, please don't say because I'm leaving, you're leaving. You need to have your own reason, have your own why. And I left. Tech City had started at the time, so yeah, that sort of engaged me for a bit, but we weren't as popular as we are now. We weren't making as much money, so it was just a side gig at the time. But then when I did, the Holy Spirit then, through my sister, I started for an interview somewhere, and I went with her. And one of the people who interviewed her asked me, what are you doing now? I said, well, just at this point, I'm just looking to change jobs. I hadn't even completely left. Funny, I was still working there. I think I was like in my last week or 2 weeks or something. And the person was like, oh, really? You're looking for a job? Okay, how about you send me your CV? I'm like, what? I didn't even really have a CV, to be honest. Afterwards, this person calls me and says, come in for an interview. Would like to have a chat with you. And all of that. I was going to drop my star at the airport. I can never forget. And after dropping her at the airport was when I went for my interview, and it was successful, and to the glory of God, I got a job. But to be honest, when I was tendering my resignation letter, I didn't have anywhere to go. But I was very confident that the Holy Spirit was the one leading me. Also, I had Tech City to sort of fall back on as something that would engage me. Like I mentioned, I always like to work. And so it was something that I was hoping would keep me engaged for the time being. Not everyone would have that. You may not have something else to fall back on if God is leading you to leave where you're working. But I think it's a good idea to have something else that you're doing. It may even be something at church. Again, that has not happened to me as well, right? When I also resigned a job not too far back, unbeknownst to me at the time, I was going to resign and then get more into ministry. But I had no idea. I'm just like, I'm resigning and I'm choosing to do other things, but God was preparing me to just do a lot more ministry work in that time. And I was doing a lot of ministry work and not even a lot of personal work that I thought I was going to be doing. So yeah, just figure it out, hear from God himself, have your why. Don't do it because everybody's doing. Everybody's been an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is not for... Entrepreneurship is not the easiest thing. So you need to just tread very, very softly and seek the face of God. Listen, God leads and God answers. If you pray, he will answer you. Don't think that I have been praying since so like God don't answer me. Calm down and really wait on him. Like trust in him, wait on him, and he will hear you and he will lead you. Also, don't follow a bandwagon of people if they are resigning from somewhere. If you're feeling dissatisfied or unfulfilled in your present role at your job, pray about it, speak to God about it, and let him know what you would much rather be doing. And you might even see that your employer may be moving you to either a different department or giving you a completely different set of tasks, to fulfill. I wish you all the best, and let me know in the comments if you ever struggled with this and how you're able to just sort of navigate that. See you guys in my next video. Peace.